want you to really hear that before we move on to the next part, right? Right? I want you to really hear that. So that's what I had to change, what I put in my body. That's why I went plant-based. You know, you hear me talk about that. I talked about a little bit about that. But yeah, I really had to wake up to what I was putting in my body, good people, because I noticed as I started getting older, right? When I moved back from Dallas, I was in my mid-30s at this time, right? I started to feel sluggish. I started to feel lethargic. I wasn't moving like I needed to on the basketball courts. People that I was normally able to get by on the basketball court when I moved back from Dallas, man, I felt like I was moving in mud, right? And I couldn't really figure out until it clicked. Man, my diet, I can't outwork that. No matter how many days I was in the gym playing ball, no matter how many days I was working out, I couldn't outwork it. Another part that changed for me physically in my health is when I changed the way I work my body out, right? Y'all hear me talk about OPT a lot, right? Shout out to Dr. J, man, Dr. Calvin Johnson, baby. Yeah, he gave me this workout called the OPT workout, right? When I was coming up, right? I was trying to go pro, right? So when I was trying to go pro in pro basketball, I had tore my hamstring. And Dr. J gave me this book called Optimum Performance Training, right? It breaks your physical training down into three different parts, right? Stability, strength, and power. Because your body is made up of those three types of level of muscles. Stability muscles, think about that as the brakes of the body, right? Right? That's kind of how you decelerate, right? And then your strength muscles, right? That's really no explanation. Your strength muscles are the larger muscle groups of your body, right? Biceps, your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings. These are the muscles that you can see. Like you can see mine through my shirt right now. Baby, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm in this thing. So those are your strength muscles. And then you mix stability and strength muscles together, you get your power, right? Well, I tore my hamstring because my stability muscles was too weak. And I kept used to train my power muscles. If you keep training your power muscles and don't build your stability and strength muscles, you run the risk of tearing something, right? So that workout, OPT workout, it wasn't only a framework for me to build my body the way it is now at 47 years old. I'm 47 years old, good people, when I look like this, right? But I had to build it. That OPT framework built that for me. Stability, strength, power. But I noticed something different as well. That's not just a framework for the body. That's a framework that I use for life, good people, because most people try to operate in their power all the time, their calling, their gifting, right? Their purpose, right? Their skill set without stabilizing themselves, right? Core beliefs, core values, their identity, right? Then they end up tearing something in life like I did physically in my body. Health, good people. How is your health? Right? Is your health in alignment with your authentic self? Or are you spinning your wheels? Or are you consistent at the wrong things? Right? So yeah, listen, I want you to really hear that, man. OPT training changed my life. It didn't only change my physical body, but it changed the way I frame my life because those frameworks work for me not only in life, but they work for me in my physical body. They mirror each other, right? Because I understand one thing. In order for me to operate in my power, my calling, my gifting all the time like I want to, I have to stabilize and strengthen. Because if I don't stabilize and strengthen core values, core strength, identity, my relationship with myself, with my higher power, I'm going to end up tearing something because you can't consistently operate in power without stability and strength.